Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look into how you turn heads versus how you turn others off. We've got 5 beautiful options in front of you. You're going to go with the one that you feel the most gravitated towards, and yes, because there are so many options, you can totally choose more than one. I will give you 10 seconds to choose, but please also feel free to pause the video. It's that time again. Win a 10-minute free candle or tarot reading with me. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. 3 random comments will be selected on Sunday, March 2nd at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and be posted within the pinned comment. So please check back at that time to see if you're a winner. Good luck. Okay, so if you were guided towards the moon card, before we get into your reading, a couple things to note. I have just uploaded an exclusive reading, a very in-depth and detailed reading in regards to what your next glow up's going to be in the career field, the financial field, your love life, and self, okay? So you can find that link within the pinned comment or the description box, as well as if you'd like to book a reading, those links will also be there. So first we're going to talk about the moon card, okay? That will be the tarot aspect of this reading, and then I will follow it up with remote viewing. And the remote viewing will offer obviously more specific reasons on how you turn others, people on versus how you turn others off. But let's just talk about the moon. So why were you gravitated towards this card? This card speaks about illusion. It speaks about mystery. It can talk about confusion. It can talk about, secrets, psychicness. The first thing I'm feeling right off the bat, and you will find that what I bring up, it will work. It will be interestingly, like people will find this very captivating, while others will, be turned off. So whatever I mention, just take it as, you will. But I don't want to go into what turns people on versus what turns people off. You will find that what I mention will work simultaneously for both, okay? Either some people will like it, some people will not. So with the moon card, you could be very, you could be like a walking question mark. I don't think sometimes people know really how to receive you. You could be very aloof. You could be very mysterious. You could be a person who is very detached, okay, in some way. I think this is very captivating for some. It's very alluring. Obviously, I don't feel like with this group, you're necessarily an open book. And it does pull in people, but I feel like there could be a lot of people as well who over time, okay, or maybe even initially get very frustrated with this. They don't know who you are. It's like pulling teeth, okay? And I'm not saying that you're not a nice person. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but you have this way of creating illusion around you. Can't get a sense of who you are. It's hard to figure you out. I do feel like people feel a very strong connection to you, but it's like following through on that, getting to know you, that could sometimes become, a stumbling block. I do feel like because this card is also ruled by Cancer, there may be also a very strong connection to the family. That's something that I'm also seeing here. You may have a very strong connection to your family, and this could turn sometimes people off. I feel like with this group, like your trust, it has to be earned. And I think, whoever has earned it, you consider family, but getting into that group or getting into that circle with you is very difficult. But your family, for some of you, some people could really love that you're very family oriented, but others could be like, this is just too much, maybe even feel like sometimes you're dependent on them. And I don't mean financially, but I just mean like energetically. But this could also talk about Maybe even with this card, because this card can also be, personality wise, somebody who is often drawn to, their passions, drawn to roles, like this is like the artist, or you could have even some types of hobbies, interests that, people don't get. I mean, I think it's for some very fascinating, but I think for others, it's like scratching my head. I don't really understand, why you're into these types of things. Okay. And for some of you, it could be very far out type of things. Okay. With the moon as well too, this is also really talks about psychic abilities. I think people get a very, very quick idea that you are functioning from that. Okay. So this could be even like, you know how to feel people when you meet them. You kind of maybe look at them, you kind of size them up, like you kind of maybe are even very slow to kind of move in with people, or move forward with people, and people get this sense of being read. Okay. I think for some people, I don't know, it can be a bit off-putting. Okay. You have a lot of depth with this card. And again, like I said at the beginning, this is, it can be attractive. It can be something that pulls people in, but I don't feel like people always want to be read. Okay. And with this card, you're going to have somebody with like a lot of depth in their eyes, or they're using their eyes a lot, to read people. Maybe even they communicate with their eyes. There could be even something about your eyes that, for some people, it could get really annoying, I think this group, like I'm just seeing a lot of communication through the eyes. And I think while some people think this is like a really great skill, that you have, like being able to read people, I think others could also sometimes be a little turned off by it. Hold on. For some of you, people may know this about you. Okay. I'm not saying that you've come out as a full-on psychic, but maybe you have made some comments here and there. I think sometimes people can get very triggered by, again, how maybe you're even reading others. So they're even showing me like people who know you, and maybe they're coming to you or they're not coming to you, and it's like unsolicited advice. Maybe you're kind of making comments about someone they know and they're like, oh, come on, no, but you always end up being right. So this can sometimes become aggravating that you have this sixth sense. So this is very difficult for, I feel like, these people who are watching, you guys. Maybe it's also sometimes with the moon, why you keep this very hush hush. Okay. I think a lot of this group, some of the people that are watching, they've had this psychic ability like thrown in their face. Okay. Maybe even not believed, is that a word? Like in that context, like people have not believed you. Okay. It's so maybe even with this group, you've chosen to hide it at this point. I don't know. But with this card as well too, this is a very secretive card. So yeah, it's great that like people can trust you. They can tell you whatever, vent, they have your trust, but at the same time, you're very secretive, and people get this idea, like they just don't have the full picture of you. And it's like you have this energy of keeping secrets. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised if people have tried to probe or have asked a lot of questions. Like this, I feel like with this group irritates you guys. You know what I'm talking about for some of you. But the secrets, it's great. It's really great that people can confide, but at the same time, they know, like they think like, what are you hiding? Because you're so secretive. So it's difficult. And I really wouldn't be surprised if a lot of water signs have chosen this, but honestly, anybody can choose this pile and not be a water sign. But I just want to say as a reader, like, you keep doing what you're doing. It's not anybody's business. You don't need to be an open book for anyone. I don't really even know You know, when I'm doing this reading, I'm not kind of doing this reading, you know, for you to change, okay? Not whatsoever, okay? Keep doing you. But with this group, it's like I'm only on the first pile, but I just feel like with people, it's really hard, I feel like sometimes for people to get a grasp of like who you are. I feel like they can know you forever, but not know you, you know? And there's always this feeling like, what are they hiding from me? I feel like your parents have even felt like this before. You know, close people, like even bosses, like I wouldn't be surprised if people have tried to really go out of their way to like find out stuff about you. Like this group, I wouldn't also be surprised if you've been stalked, okay? Again, with the turning heads versus the turning off, like it's almost, again, as the reader, coming off as a bit psychotic, you know, with others, how much they're obsessed with this, you know, you, knowing all of you, wanting to know, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if this group also has stayed to themselves, tries to stay to themselves, because it's been more than like your share to deal with this kind of stuff, and it just maybe even keeps happening, or you've met a lot of people like this who have tried to, again, I don't know, just figure you out, they become obsessive. It's almost like, oh wow, okay, I'm just feeling it all. The other thing I'd like to talk about with this group is that, like, you know, the moon, you know, that's a very, very deep card. And I just feel like people are so impacted by your presence, you know, but I feel like you trigger people as well too. So I feel like with this group, there's no in between. It's really like a love or a hate thing. I think people love you, but they also hate you. And God forbid they hate you. Again, I'm picking up like what I picked before. Like people have tried to destroy you, I feel like, over this. Because they want you how they want you. But this, even though this moon card can sometimes come across as, you know, looking like weak, you're so strong. So you really are an enigma. What you put out is not really like exactly what you are. So you can come across as looking like this dainty, shy person, but you're like a rock, and it's difficult for people. It's difficult. But yeah, you really triggered the hell out of people. And see, because the moon can even be like a self-reflecting card, like a mirroring card, where it's like, I can show you everything, like what is going on with you just by being in front of you. So it's difficult to be this group. It really is difficult. But again, it is what it is, okay? And I feel like with what I've said, you are kind of doing your service to humanity by being exactly who you are. So, you know, if you're encountering some of the people I've mentioned so far in this reading, it's like you're actually teaching them a lot about who they are, okay? So yeah, thank you for your service. So I'm gonna move on now. We're gonna go into the remote viewing. Okay, so let's now channel some messages for you, some remote viewing. Again, guys, this is not a private reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. I will be trying my best to fill up the whole paper. So don't click off. I don't want you to miss out on a message that may be at the end for you. So, Spirit, let's bring forth the messages that everyone needs to hear, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. What specifically are people turned on by versus turned off by with this group? Now, before I sat down to do this reading, the first thing I felt really strongly was love of animals. That was coming through so strong. Like, this group has a big spot in their heart. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if we've got some people here with a lot of pets, or, you know, they're just around people who don't feel the same way. But your love of animals is really coming through strongly with this group. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you love animals more than you do people. And a lot of people might not get that. Okay. So first thing, love of animals. Okay. So again, detached and aloof. Okay. This is something I feel like that really aggravates people, but again, pulls others in. I kind of want to go a little further with that. I also want to say not easily impressed. Okay. Not easily impressed. So I feel like for some people, it might be really hard to get a reaction out of you. It's just like, I'm not getting somebody like, do you have a poker face? Is this what this is? I'm getting poker face. Hard to read. Hard to read you. Okay. There's also something coming through with conflict. Hate it. You hate it. You're not for it. And it's not even like you have any kind of issue around it. I think you can totally take people, but it's more like that type of thing where it's like, I'm not wasting my time here. This is beneath me. Okay. I think some people really love the fact that you're not like a person trying to start problems all the time, or you're not drama filled. But then there's others that just feel like, you know, when they're trying to sort something out with you, you may go MIA, you may be like a person who can cut people off, or it's like go silent, go rogue. And it's difficult. So conflict, your hate of it, this really gets to people. Okay, shyness. The thing is, this is all I feel like, I don't feel like for some of you, you're really shy. I mean, some people may feel like, yeah, that makes sense. I am shy. But for others of you, I think this is a cover, okay? But your shyness, I think some can find it very cute, very attractive, and maybe even feel like not threatened by you because you can kind of come across that, while others would wish that you would come out of your skin more, okay? Now, as soon as I said the word skin, something else came through. I got tattoos, piercings. Do some of you have that? I feel like while some think it's very cool, some are very turned off by this. And then it's kind of taking me into hair color as well too. So I don't know if we have some people with some different kind of hair color. Like, I don't know. And I'm not looking, I'm kind of going beyond like blonde, brown, black hair. I'm going to like red, blue, like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Pink. I don't know if some of you do some interesting things with your hair, but this is literally also appearance, okay? I think I'm getting with some of you that there's a lot of experimenting, and I think for others, it's just like they don't understand it. But then there are others who I feel like you turn heads. You literally turn heads because of this, okay? Okay, I don't know what this is. I got collector of things. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you have a collection of something. Like, I don't know if it's crystals. People just are like, what is this garbage you spend your money on? Or if this is honestly somebody who's a hoarder. I can't tell the difference, okay? But I don't think it's hoarding, because I don't know who would be turned on by that. So I'm thinking this is more somebody who has a passion for something, where others are just like, again, I'm hearing like, what is this garbage you spend your money on? While others might be like, this is really fascinating. This is very cool. You are very interesting because of this. Okay, do you tend to let people in? And I'm kind of seeing something specifically around your home. I don't know for some of you if there's too many people around, or if it's like, again, a love for family, or you let people stay with you. This can, for some people, be like, wow, this person has a huge heart. But then for others, it's like, what are you doing? People are just walking all over you. Big heart. I think I'm getting something really around having a big heart. I really do feel like with this group, if you care about somebody and they need something, like, you will provide. But then I feel like others could feel like at times you're being taken advantage of. So that's something I'm seeing. Now, something else right away is coming through. I'm getting rebellious or rebellion. You scare people sometimes. And it's not that you are hurting people. This may be literally like when you go and do something. Like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna go jump off of, like, I'm gonna go rock climbing, or I'm gonna go, jump out of a plane, or I'm gonna just, I don't know. Like, it kind of is giving reckless energy to others. Some people could find this very fascinating, that you are out the box, you're an out of the box person, or you're willing to take risks. But for others, you could literally scare people. And I am getting people who really care about you. But this could be, it doesn't have to be as drastic as that. It could be like, maybe you want to go alone and, backpack around Europe, and people are like, what are you doing? That's dangerous, They have a lot to say, but your rebellion, your rebellious nature. But I actually want to kind of maybe even go with independent nature, because it could be that as well too, Maybe you also don't have any fear, like no fear. There's something in regards to your thinking, like, what are you thinking? What else is it about this group, Spirit? Okay. I don't know if there's a ton of achievements with this group. Like, I really don't know if this is like schooling or what this is. I really don't know if this is your own business. Like, you'll have to make it fit for you. Your achievements can either sometimes turn people on or turn people off. And the people that, we don't need to discuss why it would turn people on or turn heads, because, in our society, it is very likable, somebody who is a go-getter. Those that are turned off, sometimes you might be triggering them, because it's like showing their lack of. But sometimes it could feel to them like maybe you're bragging, but you don't have to worry about that. Remember what I said in the tarot part of this video. You could be a trigger, okay? Or you're showing people like a mirroring. But yeah, your achievements, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised with some people who are watching if they felt like that has worked against them sometimes. Maybe even if you're a woman, or even if you're a man, with, other men, okay? Other men have maybe found you to be, I don't know, too much because of this. What else is about this group? Okay, there's a dressing style. Now I'm asking to go deeper into what this is. And this could be specifically for people who tend to cover up. Okay, so I'm not seeing like the opposite. This will be for those that are watching who tend to maybe even dress a little different, like maybe not as modern, maybe old style, like back in the day when we used to cover up. I don't know. I really don't know what this is. But I feel like some people could find your dressing style like confusing. And I'm going a little deeper into this. Maybe it's like sometimes it doesn't make any sense for the event. Okay, so like maybe if there's something, like nice going on, you're kind of showing up in sneakers. I don't know what this is. Hold on, there's more coming through because we're getting more for more people watching. This is even going into like people who dress from a different time frame. There's something eccentric about your look. Like this reminds me of like, maybe when somebody has like an 80s hairdo and it's like, what are you doing? It's the 2000s. Like, why do you have this hair? Like move forward. Something along these lines, or maybe even they're dressing like the 50s. Maybe you have this 50s look, like, or this time frame look. I think while others can appreciate it, others don't understand it. And again, just to reiterate, I'm not bringing up any of these things for you to change, okay? Wow, okay, so this is interesting. Your ability to hang with opposite sex, okay? And this is like giving tomboy energy. So this is actually very specific for, actually, no, it's not. So if you're a woman watching and you hang around with a lot of dudes, or you can, right? Or if you're a man and you have a ton of female friends, this can be, I don't know. I'm actually getting with this one that I don't think people appreciate it. I think this is more what turns people off. So I'm getting something specifically in regards to what turns others off. Is your ability to have a lot of male friends if you're a female, or if you're a male, a lot of like female friends. This is interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay, we're going a little bit. Okay. For some of you, this is interesting. I don't want to step on any toes with this, but I have to relay what's being given to me. I don't know if some of you are like virgins. This could come across as like some will appreciate this, but others may not. And I'm not going to say too much about that. But like, yeah, that's really coming through. So maybe even the lack of experience, or maybe this is also coming through too because there's like this wanting to wait for marriage. Yeah. Like with you, it's good. It's not like you're not going to be another notch on someone's bedpost. It's going to be, you're going to give life to this first before I decide whether I want to do that. Okay. More. Okay. There's something coming through with indecisiveness. Your inability sometimes to make a decision. Now, if that's not you, don't worry, okay? But yeah, there's some sort of like irritants about that. I wouldn't be surprised if this group is also the queen or the king of make it and break it. Are you flaky? Flops on plans. Now, how would someone appreciate that? I feel like, I don't know. I don't know how I mean, I think there are people who don't really care about if you do that. But I feel like for others, it could just be really a big turn off. Like, it's hard to set things in stone with you. And I do feel like if people do know you, they don't really guarantee or like put a lot of emphasis on if you say you're going to show up, that you will show up. Okay, for some of you, you may be the favorite of something. I don't know, someone. I don't even know if this is just a parent. This may be a boss. So we are getting some different things here. Not everything is going to be like what I said in the tarot reading, where some of these things I mentioned will be, simultaneously working for both. This I feel like is a turnoff. You're the favorite of someone, and I'm going to leave that there because you are going to participate as the viewer and understand that, because if that applies to you, it may be, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, a boss, etc. Okay. Financially, I am seeing here really good with money, okay? But I feel like for others, this may look like at times being a little bit guarded with money, like you're just not frivolous. And for others that want to maybe sometimes do things, you're just not really on board with that. Or maybe you give like advice or unsolicited advice, or even if they do ask for advice, you give, and it can be annoying. It can be annoying, especially if the person who's asking is not the best with finances. This can serve as like a turnoff. Like, why don't you just live a bit, you know? I'm getting that. Live a bit. Okay, more. What else is there, Spirit? Your taste in men or women, okay? I actually am going a little deeper with this. For some of you, you could be bi, or I don't know what I can say on here, guys, G-A-Y, or fluid. I don't know what this is, okay? I'm even getting to something for even maybe trans, okay? Maybe some are really attracted to this, while others don't know how to react. I'll just put it as that, okay? Some of you are really likable, popular, and you don't have to do much, okay, to get the like vote. You really don't. I think the people who are turned off by this are the ones that work really hard while you just kind of sit back and let everything come to you, okay? And this can go even into many things, even manifestations. You don't have to work as hard as others. It's easy for you. More. Okay, the window is closing. I don't have anything more. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Let me know in the comment section if any of that resonated with you. I wish you all the best. You take care. It's that time again. Win a 10-minute free candle or tarot reading with me. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. 3 random comments will be selected on Sunday, March 2nd at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and be posted within the pinned comment. So please check back at that time to see if you're a winner. Good luck. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards the lovers, the second group, before we begin your reading, a couple things to note. I have just posted an exclusive reading on my Patreon platform. It is going to be in regards to your next glow up, and it will look at your next glow up in regards to career, money, love, and self. The link to that reading will be within the pinned comment, as well as if you'd like to book a private reading, that link will also be there as well. So, the lovers, let's look at this card. Let's talk about this card. You had to have been gravitated towards it for a reason, right? So the lovers, interesting. This card is very union based. It's a card of relationships. And you will find, just as we get into this reading, that I won't have to discuss these things separately, like what turns people off versus what turns people on, because what I say will simultaneously work for both. So what I mentioned, other people may like about you, whether for others, it might turn them off. Okay. So with this group, you better believe like your relationships with others, it could look like, for some people, this is a really great thing about you. But others could be very jealous. So for some of you watching, this could be like your partner, like your husband, your wife, whatever, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, who you're with, your friendship circle. The lovers also talks about a person who, is very balanced, likes to get along, would prefer to get along, would prefer to, incorporate relationships. This is not going to necessarily be somebody who is, like an introvert or wants to just be in solitude. They are relationship based. They do like to get on with their friends. They do like to be having really healthy relationships with others. And you could have some in your life that are really profound. Like, people could be looking at you like, wow. And they could be actually judging you based upon these relationships that you have with others. So like who who you're with. Oh, that person must be wonderful. Like, look at their husband, look at their wife, or look at the type of jobs they get, or look who likes them, like those types of things. While for others, people could be very jealous, okay? Very jealous. I'm going to use that as opposed to turned off, because why would you be turned off by this? If you are, then you're probably somebody who doesn't have much going on. So you're going to look to the next person and see what they've got and wish you had it too. So I wouldn't be surprised if you've faced a lot of jealousy because of who you know. You might even have a great family, but you could have a really interesting partner. Like, I wouldn't be even surprised if your person that you're with is someone big. And I don't mean like famous, but just, they've got a lot going on for themselves, and they're maybe even like a prize to some degree. And it's like, you got them. They wanted you. Okay. This is also a card of balance. Okay. So you may have a very balanced personality. I know that sounds very funny, but you may know how to really, you may be in a good space. Okay. You may know how to like outwardly show that you've got your head on your shoulders. You've got maybe a great work-life balance, or maybe you just even, you just seem like you've got it all. Okay. You've got it all together. Even if you don't, I'm just saying that's what this card can look like. And you could be very much like looked up to, idolized because of this. But others could feel like sometimes it could come across as a bit fake. I am getting that with this card, that, listen, you may have so much going on that is really good that people could sometimes be very skeptical of it. Okay, just not gonna lie. All right. Now, this card is also a card of unity. So, you could be a person who's about that, getting along, no conflict, trying to avoid it as much as possible, would rather get along than have drama or fight. But I think that also can sometimes come across as like fake to people who find it, to be a turnoff. I really wouldn't be surprised too if with this card, you're that type of person who, like, when you show up, everyone notices and everyone's happy that you're there. I feel like there's some bitter people coming through right now. Those that find it a turnoff. Because you could have this, like, I don't know why they're showing me Diana Ross, like, of the Supremes. Like, when she entered, the other, I don't know how many were in the group, but the other three were like, became invisible. So I just feel like, this could be sometimes, it could work for you. It could work against you. Now, this is a card of also duality. It is represented by Gemini. Okay. I'm not saying that you are a Gemini, but I'm just saying sometimes you can come across as, a little hot and cold, or maybe multiple personalities, not in like a diagnosis type way. I'm just saying, like, you could come across as like, I don't know what I'm going to get today. This could keep people on their toes. Some people could find it very alluring. This is alluring. But others could it could really turn people off because they just don't know what they're going to get with you or who they're going to get. And, it's like a hot, cold thing. But I feel like sometimes it's a struggle for others, just, dealing with these multiple personalities. And I just want to reiterate, just like I did in group 1, I'm not mentioning any of these things or doing this type of reading for you to change whatsoever. So don't think that's what that is or what this is. It's not. The Lovers is also like a card where you can come across as, very attractive, very naturally appealing, very charming, very happy authentically, okay? I think people really gravitate to you for this. They really love this about you. I'm not really getting any kind of like issues around social, like being social. But then I get that there's other people who are very weary of you. So do you find sometimes people tend to kind of are taken aback by you, or they stay away from you? Don't worry about those ones. I feel like those ones are purposely looking for something. I think they're very skeptical of the way that you come across, but don't worry about them. I know with this card, you can tend to be like, let's, all get along. Just leave those ones alone. Because I think with some people in this group, you may really try sometimes to make everyone like you. And, maybe you can even find it a challenge sometimes. Like it's like a delightful challenge to kind of turn an enemy into like a friend. But just leave those ones alone, I'm hearing. Okay. But yeah, this is a very approachable type of person. You are very approachable. But so much so that sometimes, even if you are talking about in the romantic field, sometimes, like let's say you're somebody like, because just for intensive purposes, say you're a woman watching, maybe some men find this getting along, this easygoingness, to be a little bit of a turnoff because they don't really know how to read you. Are you just being friendly? Are you really interested in me? I don't know. You talk to too many people. It could be like this as well too. Even in career as well too, you could have a really good career life. You get along, you don't have the same stories as other people, but you may also have a good work-life balance. I'm getting that as well too. And your whole life just seems picturesque. And I just feel like I'm seeing people who are turned off, like they're fishing. I feel like they're fishing. Like this can't be that true. This person can't be true. There has to be. This looks way too good, or this person seems too good to be true. Stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes sense to you that a lot of people have told you something like that, like you just seem too good to be true, everything looks too perfect. Now, I want to say something else with this group. This card I can often pick up as well too when I am reading, like maybe, on different types of readings or even private readings. This is also my card of like, it can be like trans, okay? Moving from one SEX to the other or changing. So I do want to include everybody in my readings. And I know there are quite a few, okay? People who identify as trans who watch my videos. I even have clients, okay? So I want to put that out there. If you are watching, this could also be something as well too. It either fascinates people or people think, I don't want to say it fascinates. I mean, they're cool with it, but then there's other people that could be very turned off by this, okay? So I'm also seeing this with the lovers. I think with this group, just to wrap it up, I think you're very good-natured. I think you have great intentions. I also think you're very beautiful with this group. You have to be. You're definitely beautiful on the inside and out. And, you could have this like way about you. You just walk into a room and it's like everyone takes notice. You're fresh. You have a fresh look. You may even be, very natural. Everything comes across as very pure. And I think sometimes you have a light that is so bright that it can kind of, aggravate the demons and other people, okay? So I do want to convey with this group to not worry about those ones. Don't worry about the ones that you turn off. There could be definitely reasons. There's always going to be, for sure, a reason as to why this is happening. Because I do feel like with this group, it's not fake in any sense. I feel like this is very natural. Like who you are is who you are. It's authentic. But I think for those that, you aggravate or you turn off, it's kind of like a mirror, like you're mirroring or you're showing them something that's within them that they lack. So just don't worry about that. With this group, it feels super positive as the reader, and just focus on the ones that, take well to you, because the ones that don't, honestly don't matter. Okay. So now let's move on to the remote viewing. Okay, so now let's move into the remote viewing part of the reading. I am going to try my best to fill up the whole page. Stick with me, guys. Bear with me. This is not a private reading. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. But stick with it because I don't want you to miss out on a message that may be all the way down here for you, okay? So let's get channeling with the lovers, those that have chosen this group. Let's bring forth the messages they need to hear, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. Okay, so this is interesting. First thing that's coming through is you may be very good in bed, okay? Very good. And I feel like this turns people on, okay? This turns heads. Now, when I say turns head, it's kind of symbolic. It's also for like what turns people on. But I feel like you may also look like you would be very good as well, you know, in the bedroom. But for those that have experienced you, sometimes they can feel like losing you may really, honestly, they wouldn't want to do that because of how good you are in bed. I don't really know how to say this, but it is coming through. So that might make sense to some people. Sometimes it may turn people off because maybe they get very jealous. I don't know. Or maybe they start to get, you know, like very, you know, question you. Who have you been with? I wouldn't be surprised if this group gets a lot of jealousy after, you know, they've been experienced in the bedroom. Okay, I'm gonna leave that as is. Let me just put here this as well. It's interesting. I'm feeling like when people experience this, you know, with you in the bedroom, all of a sudden they start to like formulate all kinds of ideas like, where did you learn things? How are you like this? You know, like jealousy. Okay, I'm getting political beliefs. There may be some political beliefs, and it may not even just be political. It just may be beliefs. This card actually is a card, can be a card of politics, but it could be your belief system. I think some people may clap for it, really, you know, feel like you're very bold and brave about it, and may resonate with, you know, your beliefs, but for others, it could be a turnoff. I wouldn't be surprised if this group has even lost people over them, okay? Again, who your partner is. Now this could work for either or. So, you know, you may be like, yeah, a lot of people really think I'm lucky, but then for others of you, they could feel like your partner is not good for you. Okay, so this could be something also what turns people off is they don't see what you see in your partner. Your partner is just like maybe not likable. It could be that your partner gets in the way a lot of the times of, you know, your relationships or other people. Once they meet your partner, there's issues. Or it could be the other side, the flip side, that who your partner is a big deal. And they consider maybe you a very lucky person, or, you know, you must be a fabulous person. Because you're with that person. Maybe your partner is also very good looking. This could even be when you're walking around with them, you know? Okay, for some of you, your career, it's fabulous. Some of you have a fabulous career. Like, just, it's impressive. But for others, it could be very intimidating. Like, I'm even getting maybe for some of you, it could be even like that your job is intimidating. Like maybe you work for the GOV, or like you work in law, or maybe you're even a cop. I don't know. But if it's not that, others find it very impressive. Like, wow, because it's just maybe even rarer. It's hard to get into that type of career, or there's a lot of schooling involved. But for others, it could just be like, I don't know, maybe you trigger them based upon what your career is, or maybe your career is fabulous and that triggers them. Maybe those people that are triggered, they don't have that. Okay, there's a lot coming through with this. Okay, the general theme is your body. Now the subheaders that I'm getting. Your shape. Okay, your shape. Your curves. Some of you even athletic. Man, some people are very bitter. Okay, I gotta explain this one. Some people who are watching here are very shapely, okay? They could be very curvaceous, and I really want to be very brutally honest with this group. Maybe for some of you, you could be considered like a bigger person, okay? I'm in that boat, so I'm not judging as well. I've been called my whole life a big girl, but this could be very attractive to some who like this kind of, shape. And then for others, it could be maybe the reason why you don't get approached, okay? For others of you, you could be very shapely. Like just your curves is like all in the right spots, okay? Hourglass. And then we've got others who are maybe even athletic. I feel like a lot of people, this can work for you or against you. But I'm feeling like I'm picking up like a very attractive person who may even have things naturally, but also may have, spent money, okay, to acquire it. Maybe even the energy in your looks, the energy that's put forth into your looks, your appearance. And I'm not saying that, if you don't resonate with, spending money, maybe you're just very like conscious of how you look and you like to look, clean, and you like to make sure, everything is spotless, or there's a lot of time spent on fashion. Okay. People can really appreciate this, but I feel like for others, it feels fickle, like superficial. Okay. I think those people that are bitter, honestly, are quite lazy. And I think with you, just the effort, I feel like triggers them. But going back to what I said at first, the body, okay? I think it could be like a hit or miss with others. And again, I want to reiterate, I'm not mentioning any of this or even doing a reading like this, for you to change, okay? But I think some are really attracted to this, like your body type, but then others you just could not be for them, it's very normal, okay? Some of you could be like really about clean eating. You could be really about even the ecosystem. Like, I don't know what's coming through here right now. I don't know if I've got a holistic person or a person who is like about saving the whales. Like, I can't tell. And that is going to be going back to your belief system as well too. But sometimes it's too much for people. It's like you're pushing it or you're just talking about it too much, which again, I'm not saying change, but we are here to talk about why people or how people get turned off. Some people could be very turned off by this, while others could be like appreciating the information. I think you're a very informative person. I think you're, about, helping anyone. Very helpful person. But others could sometimes feel like it's just not their thing. It's not their spiel. So I feel like I'm hearing like sometimes they want you to shut up. Okay. But I can't tell what this is. It's either going to be maybe all of it or maybe one thing for you, but it's something to do with maybe like health, like a health nut, clean eating. Maybe you're very vegan. Maybe you're pro that. You like to talk about it. Maybe you don't like, you like to make comments about other people who eat meat. I don't know. Ecosystem or just holistic. Okay. For some of you, I am going to say you may have accumulated a deal of wealth. Okay. You could also look really expensive. I don't know which one this is going to be. I don't know if you just look expensive or you look like you have nice things or you actually have wealth. I feel like I'm like the head on shoulders, like I've got my head on my shoulders, or you just really look put together. I feel like people can really, again, appreciate this, while I feel like others could be very jealous, okay? And I am going to say too, like, you know, there could be a very strong emphasis on independence. Like, people may be shocked that nobody helped you. You just got this all on your own. Okay. This is a bit separate than political beliefs. I'm getting something in and around religion. Okay. I'm going to leave that as is because I'm not really getting any kind of specific religion. I'm just getting a religion. And yeah, include spirituality in that one too. Okay. You know, what you believe in, you know, maybe people who are very, you know, like Christian, they get very turned off by, you know, your, you know, talking about source in the universe. Okay. Why don't you call it God? Maybe you are, you know, very for like the fact that, you know, we all are empowered. No one's our savior type of thing. And they're just really like, wow, like, how could you say that, you know, type of thing. But you could also be the Christian as well too. Okay. And people just don't believe, you know, they're just, I think some resonate with that. Some do not. I'll just leave it there. Okay. I'm getting something around being constantly busy. I think for this group, you need to find people who are as well constantly busy. I think that you watching probably really resonate with the fact that, you know, you don't do well with like energetic vampires, people who have no life. You know, again, you need someone who's busy, because I think for the people who are turned off by this, they're probably not as busy, or they just, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're not as evolved, too focused on you. But I think people who are also busy and meet you can appreciate the fact that you are, but you are very busy, whether that be with friends, you know, your goals, maybe even being invited out. Your schedule is, you know, and I think sometimes people can find it very difficult, like that they can't put you on a schedule, or they don't know how to get into your schedule. Do some of you cuss a lot? I don't know. I have a potty mouth here. I think there's also a sarcasm here, like a really dry wit, which I just want to say I, as the reader, can appreciate. That's my favorite type of humor. I mean, I can go real dark with humor. The darker, the funnier for me. But I don't know. There could be something in the way that you speak sometimes. It's just people get caught off guard. It's like, did she just say that? Or did he just say that? Like, what was that person thinking? You may even say the things that everybody else wants to say, but you just have the balls to do it, you know, the bravery to do it. And, but some of you could also have a potty mouth, and it's just like, could be really annoying to others. I wouldn't be surprised if some people in this group, you know, people have like really begged you to work on that. But I'm getting something around that. But your sarcasm, it's interesting. Some people really appreciate it. Like, you really lighten their day. Like, you're that person we want to call, you know, if we're not doing the best. But then there's others that just like, it's like, what are you, like, why would you say that? You know, just have no sense of humor. Okay, I'm getting something around stringing people along. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Do you not like to hurt people? Would you rather just hope they get the message, like, non-verbally? I don't know. I'm getting something around people feeling like sometimes you string them along. And it could be, you know, not wanting to offend. Maybe you tend to do that. But it could also be, again, going back to that being busy, or, you know, it's not the easiest to put you on a schedule, or, you know, maybe you just don't want to have that difficult conversation. So you just hope people get it, you know? But sometimes I feel like people feel like you do string them along. And sometimes I'm even hearing like empty promises. I don't know what that means. Empty promises. Okay, I'll leave that as is. Okay. I'm hearing a phone ringing. I don't know if the phone's always ringing. I don't know if people are always coming or trying to get at you or a hold of you. I I don't know. I feel like the emphasis is around the phone, your phone. I feel like people hate your phone. Wish you would turn it on silent. So with this one, I'm not getting anything in regards to like, you know, people's, you know, turned on by this, or, you know, their heads are being turned by this. I mean, maybe this is literally what people, you know, like, because they notice this about you, your phone. But people could get very turned off by how many people want to get a hold of you, want to reach you, or the fact that this phone is always ringing or going off. Do you have a ton of crushes? I don't know what this is, like crushes, like people in love with you? Admirers? What is this? I don't know what this is. I think people notice really early on how many people like you, or how many people you've got going on like around you who are interested. Maybe they see it in person. I feel like it could turn heads just because maybe they want to know what is so special about you. It kind of piques their curiosity. But I also feel for others, they could be a bit jealous at how many callers, gentlemen callers you have, or female callers. Yeah, your attractiveness, okay? Your likability factor sometimes works against you, unfortunately, okay? So I'm also hearing, is there a belligerent side to you? I feel like with this group, if you're pushed enough, or if you like poke the bear, you being the bear, you could tend to kind of go below the belt. You could go there. I think while people appreciate the fact that you can stick up for yourself, sometimes it goes too far. And I think for some people, it's gone too far to the point of not being able to mend the fences, okay? So there's a belligerent side, and I actually want to say maybe even a truthful side to you. Like I don't think this group does well with lying. So if someone legitimately asks you, like, do I look big in this, or does this color suit me? Like, you'll be like, no, it doesn't. So sometimes your honesty it can work against you, unfortunately. Now, I feel like with this group, I don't need to tell you, like, just keep being honest. I mean, who the heck would want to go to somebody? Like, you have to question, you know, those people. Like, why would you want to go to somebody who sugarcoats, you know, things? But yeah, just keep being you, and I think this group will. But yeah, your honesty sometimes, it can be that people really do appreciate it, and maybe they specifically call you for that reason, or they ask for your opinion. But then others, I feel like it's like, oh, couldn't this person just lie a bit? Like, my goodness, you know? What else about this group? Do some of you have a twin flame? Have you told people about this? I'm actually posing the question. I think some people find it fascinating, but some people find this magical connection really weird. Okay, really weird. And it kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if some people have told you, like, stop talking to me about this, because it's straight up weird. But yeah, your twin flame, interesting enough, or what you would consider your twin flame, can be a source of fascination for some, because they've never heard anything about like this, but for others can just be like a really big turn off. Okay, guys, the window has closed. That's all I'm picking up for this group. So let me know if anything resonated with you. I wish you all the best. You take care. It's that time again. Win a 10-minute free candle or tarot reading with me. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. 3 random comments will be selected on Sunday, March 2nd at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and be posted within the pinned comment. So please check back at that time to see if you're a winner. Good luck. Okay, so if you were guided towards the sun, the third group, Before we get into your reading, a couple of things to note. I have just posted an exclusive reading on my Patreon platform. That reading will be in regards to your next glow up in career, with your finances, in your love life, and with self. If you'd like to access that reading, you can find a link within the description box or within the pinned comment, as well as if you'd like to book a private reading, you can find that link to my Etsy shop there as well. So let's talk about the Sun card, because you were obviously gravitated towards it for a reason, right? Sun card. Wow. If you were gravitated towards this is a really, really great card. It talks about happiness. It talks about, optimism, success, vitality, confidence, truth, and joy. I would say in saying that, I would say that you are definitely a force to be reckoned with. You could be very attractive, but this could also be your inner power. This is the type of person who, is always smiling, even if they don't feel like smiling. They genuinely are happy. They like to laugh. They will give you that kind shoulder when you need it, that kind word. You could be a very smiley person. Even your smile just lights up people. It is that card of like lighting up others. Even just by stepping foot in the room, okay? Your presence, has a wow factor to it, okay? You actually turn heads. Out of all the cards, when I said turn heads in the title, what I meant was like, how do you turn people on? You are that group that literally turns heads. And it could be for various reasons, but you're like the sun, you brighten up the space. You lighten up the room. This could also be, light worker energy. You are just, you're so connected to source. You are just, your vibration could be 5D. Let's be real here, okay, with the sun. It's an infectious energy. Your energy is strong, okay? I think for some, this could really be unique. Like you're a unique person. They don't meet people like you often. They don't see people like you often. But for others, this could really, I don't want to use the word trigger, but this could really turn others off. There could be even this what's so great about you. I wouldn't be surprised if this group has faced a lot of that, even people who have tried to take them down or, get to others who, and say like, what's the big deal with this person? You are a big deal for the things I've just mentioned. But I do feel like the spotlight can be on you a lot of the times, effortlessly. And some people don't take too well to that. It's like they become invisible. But then others could really be gravitated towards you, just really like your presence. You are a really good person. You're a really great person, a good person, an honest person. I feel like with this group, like again, the shirt off your back, someone needs something and you have an extra, if you have it, you'll give it to them. You're all about empowerment, empowering others. You're again that person who would not be afraid to step into a difficult situation if you could help, okay? So you do have a confidence about you. This card can be a card of confidence. And, if you look at this little boy, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, who cares? It's a little one, okay, on the horse. Like, does he look or she look like she has any fear? She's just going for it. So a lot of the times it can be your candor, the way you step up to the plate. This is a leader card as well too. So, you're not afraid. Even if you do have a little bit of fear, you hide it very well, but you're not afraid to get thrown into the jungle. You're not afraid to step up to the plate. You are not afraid to do what needs to be done, or even say what needs to be, said, okay? You've got a natural charisma, and you really do inspire people around you to do better just by leading, okay? You are that authentically just by being, but I just feel like, unfortunately, some people have really taken this in a really wrong way and have really tried to come for you. Okay. So just like group one, I wouldn't be surprised, like with this group, if people have tried to bury you, you know, and I don't mean literally, it's just a figure of speech, but try to talk smack about you, try to get others to hate you. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody started a smear campaign, or it was just really nasty. Okay. I think you also, with this group, see the best in people. Again, it's a very optimistic card. Sometimes people cannot understand this about you. You could be a person who's just really about, like, you know, people come from all walks of life. They've been through things. You're into second chances. And others sometimes just think like you could be a little bit naive or foolish. But then others can really appreciate, you know, this compassion, you know, that you have. I think with this group, you need to have some real solid people around you. Because sometimes I feel like with the sun, you can tend to, just like the sun, have like these rose-colored glasses on. So you probably understand that. I don't want to say be careful. You probably understand that. You've probably been hurt, you know, many times over. But, you know, and I just feel like this is a feel-good energy. So it's like, what is the problem? You know, you're always kind of like coming from that space. Like, let's just have fun. Let's make the most of it. Why be in a, you know, sour mood? Let's just be happy. You know, we can get through everything. And I think like some people get really annoyed by this mentality. Like, this is the type of group that could be broke, like literally in their, like maybe on the brink of homelessness, and just see the positivity in something. And you could probably sometimes be dubbed as delusional. Like, really. And I'm also getting like a, you know, very cheerful person. Like, are you one of those morning people? I mean, I'm the same way. I don't care if it's the morning time. I don't have that. You know, I'm the same way, like all times of the day. But I just feel like sometimes even with the sun coming up, you know, maybe there's something about the morning, you know, you kind of annoy people in the morning. Like, what the heck is this person so happy about? Like, your happiness with this card could literally turn people off. Obviously, people who don't know how to see the silver lining, but, you know, regardless, okay? You could have also, hold on. They're trying to show me something here. Why are you showing me that, Spirit? Are you very, like, are you like, I don't know what I'm picking up on here. I don't know if this is like a gatherer of people. Like, do you like to bring people together? Are you like a mediator to some degree? Are you, like, do you host a group thing? I don't know what this is. Like, I'm actually seeing, someone who's about humanity and just really bringing people together as opposed to kind of separation. And, I think you have a skill with this that is very rare. And I think people can be very gravitated towards you for this, you know. It's very unique, but I think others don't understand it. With the sun as well, this can also embody a child. Okay, it can be a child card. So I also wouldn't be surprised too if maybe your children, if you do have them, could be what turns people off about you, but also turns people on. Because, you know, when you have this card representing your children, like, your children could be like really something. And I know all are special, but I'm just saying, maybe you've got some really beautiful, you know, little ones, or, you know, they're talented, because that can be a talented card as well. They're like, just they light up the room themselves. They could be very beautiful as well, again. But for others, this could be maybe sometimes an issue, maybe even in dating. This has been a problem because you have them. But I should also say that, if you don't have little ones, this can also as well speak about talent, okay? So there may be a natural talent or an ability, and it could be anything. And it could actually intertwine with what I picked up before about bringing people together. So maybe you've got like a YouTube channel, like, for example, I could kind of embody this, like I'm bringing people together, because oftentimes people will actually get to know each other. That's happened before, through my Patreon group. People have gotten together, like they read other people's comments, they understand and see that they're not the only one going through something, and this is the way they connect. So it's like, maybe you're kind of like a leader in some sense, or you have a talent that brings people together, or you just have a talent or, a gift of some sorts. Wow, that is a lot. So I'm going to end it here. Let's now move on to the remote viewing. Okay, so let's get into the remote viewing part of this reading. Please bear with me. I'm going to try to cover or fill this whole page. So just take what resonates, leave the rest. Understand that this is not a private reading, but make sure you listen to the message in its entirety, because I don't want you to miss out on a message for you. So let's begin. So the Sun, those that have chosen this group, what needs to be brought forth to them, what do they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Let's bring that forth, and let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. Interesting. Okay. I don't even know how to sort this one out. Okay, I'm getting something around nationality, ethnicity, or even accent. I think while some are very intrigued by this, some could be very turned off, and I don't know what that means. I don't want to overly interpret, so I think if you understand that, you will understand that. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I am getting something around a hair color, but not just a hair color. It could be even the way you dress, which, listen, that's very normal. Some people like the way we dress, some people don't. But for some of you, it could be that you incorporate, too much color, or I don't know, maybe it's loud in some sense. Maybe you show a lot. I don't know, because it is also the Sun too. So the Sun does like to show a lot. And I also want to be very clear by bringing up these things that I'm bringing up. I am in no way saying change. Okay, that's not my intention with this reading. I'm getting something around a temper. Okay. I think you could tend to catch people off guard, but this could be a way about you. This could be something people know about you. And, I'm not getting with this one that anybody's turned on by this. I mean, but they could be, I wouldn't be surprised if you've had some people who try to egg you on because they think it's cute. Maybe they think it's attractive, but for others, it could be a turnoff. Okay. There could be an aggressiveness, and it could really, be like they're showing me a tornado, like just really caught off guard by it. Like you did not come across like somebody like that. And then it's just poof, like, who is this? Okay. There's something around this, like, I don't know if there's an unseen or like a very quiet energy of not needing anyone. I don't know if this is even like self-reliance, like you don't like to ask for help, or just the self-sufficientness. I think for some, this could be something very that, like we admire, like it's admirable. Is that a word? I don't know. But then I feel like for others, it kind of can come across sometimes as too self-sufficient, like you don't need anyone, but also you don't need anyone. Like you give this maybe sometimes this air of, you know, like it doesn't matter if you're here or not, or if you choose to leave or you choose to stay, like I'm good. But sometimes it can come across to people like maybe you just don't really care enough about them. I don't know what this is. Maybe you're very cool and distant or detached. Not sure. Okay, for some of you, I'm getting the words laying it on thick. Some people could see you as too much. I resonate with this. My whole life I've been kind of told this. I am a big personality. This could be also something you resonate with, a big personality. And sometimes it can be exhausting for people, your personality, not gonna lie, while others welcome it. Okay, breath of fresh air. You lift people up. You make them feel wonderful. But for others, it can be exhausting. Okay. Public attention. I think you get a lot of looks. I think others become invisible when they're with you. Oh man. This may not be good if, you know, in the friend group, especially if you're at the club or something. Others can become just really invisible. I think you're, you know, some people could look at this as like a step up to be around you, but others could feel like they get forgotten about when you're around. This one's very interesting. You don't forget anything, okay? And I'm getting this in regards to like when you've been hurt. Now, I did not say you did not forgive, okay? I think you do forgive. I think you understand forgiveness, but you don't forget. And I think people can feel that, okay? So I think this group definitely has a backbone, okay? Boundaries, all of that great stuff, but you don't forget, okay? And I think sometimes people feel like, why can't you just forget? Why can't we just move forward? They don't like this really necessarily about you. But that's, you know, that's their problem. Okay. So again, not saying you don't forgive. You do. You just don't forget. Okay. I'm getting something around a gratefulness. I'm getting the peace sign, live. Okay. Love and light. Okay. Is this your mentality? Your mentality sometimes can seem a bit awkward for people. It can be a bit strange. Like, I don't know if you're one of those people that can see like a positive situation and everything, but I'm also getting people who want to kind of let like their hair down around you and maybe, I don't know, gossip or bash others or just bitch, but you're just not about it. And I feel like listen, some people obviously are going to really love this about you. I mean, who doesn't love a grateful person, right? But I feel like for others, it can be annoying. Like, why can't we just let loose? Why can't we just let loose a bit? Like, why can't you have an opinion about anything? Why are you always on the fence? Why do you always play Switzerland? You know, maybe even why can't you take my side? Like, because you understand there's your side, my side, and the truth type of thing. But the love and light, it can sometimes, like I'm seeing somebody like with the, you know, in their throat, like this is like, I hate it, you know? That's what I'm getting. I'm seeing people clapping. I'm seeing fans. I don't know what this means. I don't know if you have a platform. I don't know if you literally have fans. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised who watches my videos. I don't know if this is also just coming from somebody who is aware of your presence and how you affect others. Yeah, but I'm getting something around fans, like just people clapping for you, or there's like an encore energy. And I feel like while some people can really appreciate it, maybe even join in and feel like they want to be one too, I feel like I'm also sensing the opposite, where it's like jealousy. Jealousy. That's it. That's it with that. Okay. I'm getting something around resourceful, survivor. I don't know if you also have plenty of, things, like skills, material things. I don't know if you've attained a lot at your age. I don't know what this is. Recognition. Again, you will find with these things, they will simultaneously work for, both sides, what people really like about you, but also what people don't like about you. And maybe when they don't like it, it's because there's something that you have that they're lacking. Easily distracted. Sometimes they don't feel like you're as present as you should be, okay? Now, with that one, I'm not getting that people like that about you, although, it could pull people sometimes in, because you kind of could come across as detached, but I'm getting more with this one. Like, now they're showing me like unanswered phone calls, delayed responses. I don't know if this is a seen or read messages. Are you not the best at getting back to people? That's something that I'm seeing here. And then I'm getting this bait and switch. Okay, bait and switch. You have an unsuspecting demeanor sometimes about you. People don't see it coming. And it's not that something's wrong with you or that you do it for no reason, but it's unsuspecting. You may have two sides to you, okay? I think here, when you feel unsafe, you may have this retreating into shell thing. I don't know what this is, like a crab. Or you tend to stay away from people who don't feel safe. But those people that don't make you feel safe, they don't like this about you. They even kind of sometimes see it as, I'm going to be honest, a coward move, okay? You do you. Okay. I think people really do like, but also not like. There is something about not being dumb, okay? Seeing through fakeness. You have a great ability to do that. Great ability. And it's like a sixth sense I'm seeing. But it could even be those people that you're seeing through that don't like it, because I'm getting even this not being able to charm you. I am getting this like in the romance department, like a lot of your suitors get really upset that they can't fool you. Okay, so you may be a player, like a detective, like you can detect a player like a mile away. You can smell BS a mile away, but even when someone's lying. And I think while some people can really appreciate the fact that, you're not dumb in that sense, okay? You're not gonna get, played. I think those that are trying to play you get frustrated by that, because you can see them clearly. Okay, heart on your sleeve. I got this in the tarot part too, heart on your sleeve. a real genuine, and I do feel like, I don't think that you would cut people off right away, but I just feel like if it gets to a point like where it's just too many times, like you will do that. But until that happens, like you're just really understanding. Like you've got this understanding nature, and you do make a really good friend, I want to say. Anybody who can call you a friend is very lucky to have you. You're the type of person that would really just, like, it could be 3 a.m. and if your friend broke down on the side of the highway, like, you're going to get up out of your bed. You're going to answer the phone, first of all, and you're going to get up out of bed and go help them. So I do feel like while people can appreciate this, I feel like at times there could be people who just try to warn you about this and say, like, you know, don't be so naive, be careful, because people will take advantage of you. But there just could be this generosity. And your advice too, even though some people hate it, because obviously it's the truth, some people could really appreciate it. And you know how to do it with a lot of empathy. You know, some people can be harsh when they give advice, but with you, it's so empathic. Like, I just think you're like a really great person to have in someone's life. Like I would love to have like a person like this in my life, because again, I'm hearing that don't start no SHIT, there won't be no SHIT. So with you, it's like you're not the type that's going to start anything, but should someone try to, like, you're gonna finish it. And I think a lot of the times you do surprise people because you are so nice. So that's interesting. What else about this group? Now this is interesting. I am getting your profession. With this one, I'm getting it's a turn off. I don't know what that means. I think whoever that resonates with will understand it. Your profession may not be, it could be something that's frowned upon. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to leave it as is, okay? Because I think whoever understands that will understand that. Anything else, Spirit? I'm not getting anything else, so the window is closing. Let me know if any of that resonated with you. I wish you all the best. You take care. It's that time again. Win a 10-minute free candle or tarot reading with me. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. 3 random comments will be selected on Sunday, March 2nd at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and be posted within the pinned comment. So please check back at that time to see if you're a winner. Good luck. Okay, so if you were guided towards the 4th group, the Empress, before we get into your reading, a couple things to note. I have just uploaded an exclusive reading on my Patreon platform. If you'd like to access it, you can find it within the description box, as well as the pinned comment. That reading is going to be on your next glow up, and we're going to be looking at your next glow up within career, finances, your love life, as well as self. If you'd also like to book a private reading, those links will also be there as well. So let's get into the Empress. Wow. With this card, we have to talk about it because why were you gravitated towards it, right? So let's talk about it. Now you will also find too that what I will mention will equally serve to both sides. Some may find whatever I say to be a turn on. Others could find it to be a turn off. So it will work simultaneously for both sides. So with the Empress, she could be a mom, okay? She could be a mom. She could also be pregnant. So I do have to say this right off the bat. You know, it could be that, you know, you are a mom. This could be something that people really like about you, or it could be something that they don't. This could also be, you know, you being pregnant as well too. But the Empress could also be your mother. this is the interesting thing, is that for some of you, your mom could be a force to reckon with, but she could also be the reason why maybe some people have not liked you in the past or don't like you, or, you know, I don't know. She could be, like, again, a force to be reckoned with. I'm not going to say much about that. I will never talk about anybody's mother, you know, in a bad way. But this could also be, you know, what's coming up here. Now, the Empress is also a very nurturing person, okay? She could be, you know, the most nurturing out of all her friend group, her coworkers. I don't know if you're also very affectionate. Empress is like this as well too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we've got some people here who are very touchy-feely, like to hug. Some people may not like that, okay? Some people may find it actually also, you know, you may have been, you know, dubbed this, you know, even with people that you shouldn't be. So like, I really wouldn't be surprised if maybe if you have a boyfriend, they don't like how affectionate you are with people, or, you know, how many people you allow into your circle. The Empress honestly believes everyone should be loved. Okay, so she will like have no problem picking up or starting conversations with like anyone. She's known for even like bringing in stray animals. I'm just giving you the idea. I'm not saying that this is you, but she's really open-hearted. Okay, she feels like it's almost like her duty to be this way. Now, she is also about personal growth, so you could be very dedicated to that, and it could be at the top of your priority list. Like, it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. When it comes to your personal growth, like, it's important. So, you know, this, even though, you know, I mentioned she's affectionate and whatnot, she's not going to, you know, bend over backwards if it cuts into her alone time or her, you know, isolation. Maybe she needs to be in nature. Maybe she needs to be alone. Maybe she needs to like do better. Like, she will get rid of you if you are not, you know, treating her right. So this could also be something that factors in here. People could really like this about you, that you have that type of dedication, but, you know, in the same breath, they could be tossed to the side if they're not, you know, treating you right. Okay. Now, I mentioned nature. This could also be something here. I wouldn't be surprised, because she is sitting in nature. She's very much ruled by nature. She is Mother Gaia. I don't know if you know that, but you could be, you could have been made fun of for your love of nature. I mean, I've been called a tree hugger more than 10 times. There could be a love of nature, a love of natural, okay, naturalness, like within even products or, you know, food choices. Maybe this is also, you know, you spending your time predominantly in nature. That's what she's doing. Maybe you like to do your little retreats, but people kind of maybe make fun of it. Others may really appreciate it, but others you could have been made fun of for this. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now, the Empress is a full-figured person. So I don't care if you're a female or a man watching, you may be quite curvy. You could even, you know, with the Empress, she's very bountiful. So I really wouldn't be surprised, maybe even if there are some of you, and I want to be very honest with this reading, that have maybe some weight on you. Maybe you're not everyone's cup of tea, but nobody is. But maybe it could be even like your size, okay, your shape. But remember, what you are to one person is what you won't be to another, okay? Just letting you in as well too. Like, I've always been called a big girl. I really don't care, okay? There's a lot of people who like my size, and, you know, that's what I focus on, okay? But I want to bring it up. Now, she can be an authority figure. The Empress is a co-creator, so you may be actually in a type of high-ranking position, or, you know, a leader to some degree, you know, somebody who most people choose to lead, okay? An alpha, if you will, okay? Some people could really resent you for this, but others could really look up to you for this. But I do feel like she is at the head of her field. She could be at the head of her, you know, she's like that Kappa, whatever you call it, of the sorority. I don't know the terms, but she could be like the sorority, I don't know, speaker. But it's like you kind of are, you have this effortless way of just kind of climbing the ladder, you know. Empress makes things happen effortlessly. Okay. She's also very smart. She's very intellectual. She could be somebody who, you know, gets things very quickly. People could really be jealous of the fact that, you know, it's easy for you. With whatever it is that you're learning, or maybe even just, you know, willing things in effortlessly, things come to you easily. She could also be a business owner too. If you have a business, people could really be like, you know, affected by it, in the sense that they have something to learn from you. Like, wow, you know, you're doing the most. But then there's others that could be really triggered by it, and maybe even intimidated. But, you know, the Empress card is one of the best cards to get when you are, you know, even reading on, you know, career or business. So, you know, she could have definitely started her own thing. It's interesting. I'm being told like some of you are even a brand. You're like a brand in itself. I wouldn't be surprised if we've got some bosses here. Real bosses, okay? Really innovative, creative. You know, you're like a real package deal. Like, you don't need to outsource for anything or get, you know, the opinions of others. Like, you just are a force to be reckoned with. And I think a lot of people can feel that with you, that you're really special. I know everybody's special, but I'm just speaking about you right now. Like, you're really special. There's something really unique about you. You don't come across as, you know, everyone else. You've got ideas, you've got interests, you've got hobbies, you've got dreams, and you're really uplifting about it. You're positive. You're, you know, a beautiful dreamer, and you make things happen. Now, the other thing with the Empress as well, too, is that she can also be very independent. She can be very sovereign, like very into that. So much so that sometimes she doesn't realize that sometimes she excludes people, or people get kind of left behind. And I don't think you're doing this intentionally. But like, again, that personal growth is coming up, you know, with me. I'm feeling it, the personal growth, and it really is about you. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if some people in this group get called selfish. You're more like selfless, but people call you selfish. I think you've been called that before. And this is kind of like an example of when people are turned off by, you know, the way that you are. But you understand that you have a higher calling. I mean, she is the divine feminine. So, you know, you're on like a path and a journey, and sometimes you just can't take everybody with you. So, wow. All right. Well, let's move on now to the remote viewing. Okay, so let's now move into the remote viewing. Be patient, guys. I am trying to fill up the whole paper, you know, with things, but you're gonna have to be patient. I don't want you to miss out on something that's for you. So make sure you listen to the reading in its entirety. And remember, it's not a private reading, okay? So just take what resonates and leave the rest. Now, I also want to make sure that with this reading, because I did not say it in the tarot portion, that my intention with this reading is not for you to change, okay? That's not my intention whatsoever. So, you know, you keep doing you, regardless of, you know, what people feel or how people feel about you. So let's bring forth the messages that this group needs to hear, not what they want to hear, and let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. What turns people off about this group? Well, turns others off. Okay, there's a decorative style. I don't know what this is. This is even going, I feel like, into the way you dress. I feel like this is artistic, but I can't tell if we've got an interior designer person here. like the way you decorate your place, your home, or the way you even decorate your environments, okay? I mean, listen, I don't know how everybody's going to feel. Some could feel like it's maybe cluttered or it's too bright, but I'm seeing some people who are really gravitating to your style, while others just are not. And to be kind of specific, it feels like the way you decorate your home, your vehicle, maybe the colors you like, and then also maybe even the way that you dress, okay? Ooh, okay. I feel like with some people here, have you spent some money on enhancements? I feel like there's body enhancements here. Some people really like what you've done. Others don't understand it whatsoever. This feels like, honestly, plastic surgery or some sort of elective surgery. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. More. Okay, so I'm getting that brand again. You're a brand in itself, okay? And I don't mean, I'm not saying you're like the CEO or you've got a huge multi-million business, but like you're doing something, you're able to stick your name or put your name to something. I don't care if you bake cookies on the side. You may have a business, okay? Or something, creative that you're doing that is quite cool. I think if those are turned off by this, it could just be because they don't have a gift, okay? It's plain and simple. Now, I'm feeling here that you are very protective of those you love, but even of yourself, okay? Legit, you scare some people, okay? People don't really understand until they've pushed you too far, like how deep your love goes for some people. And that could be your children, your family, like, I don't care, your friends, whatever. But you are really protective. And I just feel like for some people, they don't see it coming. But with this group, do not push your loved ones around. Do not come for my people. You'll have me to deal with, okay? So there's this protective nature. And I am going to say this as well, too. This also goes for you. So again, self-growth, like when it comes to boundaries, insults, I'm not saying you can't laugh at yourself, but with this group, be careful. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Because I think you can laugh with the best of them. You can smile, you can seem, like a great person, but there is another side of you. It's like mama bear energy, and you can have that for anyone. It doesn't just mean like if you have kids, okay? There's something coming through about transformation. I don't know if you tend to change a lot, like upgrade yourself. And I don't mean like, I'm not talking about physically here. I'm talking about inwardly. I feel like while some can really respect this, I feel like others like don't know who you are. Okay, they don't get it. There's a question mark. You have changed on a lot of people. Good for you. That's what you should be doing. And this feels completely for the better. Doesn't feel to me like it was for, the latter. Okay, so I just feel like some people, like they get it. But I feel like for others, it's hard to get a grasp of who you are. And I feel like people can get really used to you. So when you change, it can be very hard for them. But there is something in regards to transformation. Changing for the better. That's interesting to come up. Okay, this is kind of funny. Your taste in music. I don't know what the heck this is about. Taste in music. Some people hate it. Some people really hate it. I think for some people, you turn them onto it. You actually turn them on to this type of music. You may have gotten a lot of people into a particular type of music, which is really cool. Let me know in the comment section if that makes sense, because that's very specific. But for others, I just like, I don't get it. I just, what are you listening to? For some of you, I'm getting a sensitivity. You could be emotional. Well, how people see you. Okay, I'm not saying you are. I don't think you take well to be made fun of. This is not something you find funny, okay? And I feel like some people wish you would be a little bit more looser. And you know what? Honestly, I actually agree with you with this, because if this makes sense, because I'm actually feeling it as a reader. And some of it even can be like stupidity, like stupid jokes. It may not even be towards you. Maybe it's just even like filth, like maybe derogatory. I don't know what this is, like loosey-goosey, like no boundaries with, some people. They wish you would lighten up. I'm getting that, like lighten up. Not everything that comes through is going to be working for both sides. Like some people will like this about you, some people will not. I mean, some people could like this about you, that you have some respect about you, but I just feel like, I just see somebody maybe sending you something and you're just like, why'd you send me that? Like, why would you do that? Don't do that, So that's very interesting, but I feel like people can see you as sensitive or emotional. The way you move on. You can move on. Yeah, this group has no problem doing that. And I feel like you could leave some people in the dust. Like I'm literally seeing the car with the dust coming up. I'm not saying you do that. It's just the way mediumship works. It's like people feel like you really leave them in the dust. You know how to move on. And I don't know. It's like for others, I feel like this is really great. They don't have to hear you complaining about anything. Like maybe some of your friends, it's like when you move on from a breakup, it's like, look at her, she's so strong, or look at him, he's so strong. But for the people that you leave behind, I just feel like they don't like this. It's like sometimes they feel like you don't have longevity or a vested interest sometimes in making things work. Maybe it's like even you give up. I don't know. You give up easily. I don't know. Okay, for some of you, I'm getting the word unfazed, unbothered. With this group, I feel like when you've moved on, when you're done, you're really done. I don't think it's easy to bring you back into something. I feel like you know how to make conscious choices that are really good for you. So good for you, but to others, it could be really hard to reach you, hard to get through to you, hard to get you back. Do some of you travel a lot? And I'm not talking about around the world. It could be literally like you're just always in the car going somewhere. Do you have like a pop in life? Like, I don't know what this is. I feel like I got a huge spectrum here. I feel like I've got people who are literally jet setting, or like their bag is always by the door, like packed to go somewhere. And then I've just got other people who are just really busy, just doing things, just on the go. I feel like people are very jealous of this. Very jealous. You get to do things they wish they could. Now, I don't know what that means, because I feel like, work towards it. Don't be jealous. Work towards it. I mean, it might be, a normal amount of jealousy, but for others, that people could be very jealous. And, I feel like with this group, I don't feel like abundance is an issue. Because the Empress is very abundant. So, like money could literally just come out of nowhere. Like you could make things happen like effortlessly. There's always money, enough money and abundance to do or live the life that you desire. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, I'm getting like an eternal romantic Some people are really cheesed out. I don't want to say even turned off, but cheesed out by you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some people who are into like the Hallmark movies. Listen, there is one show I do watch, The Way Home. That show is the best show I've ever seen. And it is featured by Hallmark, but for the most part, I understand what people feel like when it comes to Hallmark movies. But like, you are an eternal romantic, and while everybody else could be soured out from this, like, you've got hope. And that's another thing too, is your hope, your faith, your chutzpah. It's like your bravado, like your unlimited possibility type of mentality. That can really, I feel like, either for some people be a source of hope for themselves, like, you know, the way you bring it. Because, you know, Empress, man, she will teach you how to be a button as well too. She doesn't keep it for herself. She will teach you how to get it. Okay. She will be the first one to be like, honey, there's nothing special about me. You can get it too. Okay. But this is also a factor as well too. Okay. Private. I'm putting a big star beside this one. Some of you, your privacy is your privacy. I don't feel like with this group, you know, don't ask me too much questions. I'll reveal what I want when I want. And I'm also hearing, don't bother me, okay? Like, this is not the group that likes to be hunted down through text messaging or phone calls. Not even like, you know, you can't read a room, don't come near me. Like, you like people who can read a room, you know, read the vibe, the general vibe. But privacy is a big one with this group. People don't like this aspect of you. It's like, why can't you be more open? Why are you like this? I mean, for some of you, it could be very extreme, I'm seeing. Like, there's levels to this. Like, some people won't even reveal their birthday. You might not even know where they live. I mean, that's not really extreme, but like, I'm just giving examples. You know, you may not tell people where you live. Like, it would take maybe a couple years before someone knows that. You know, maybe you want to email them first. You don't want to give phone numbers. Like, for some of you, it can be like that, you know? But yeah, don't bother me. Don't hunt me. Don't try to stalk me. Don't try to put me on a schedule. I am a free sovereign being, you know? I don't think you like jealous people either as well too. You want to be able to do your thing, okay? Like, someone coming into your life is an addition, but don't try to put a hold on me. Do you give money? Are you generous? What is this? Give money. I just saw give money. Are you very generous? I can't tell if this is that you're donating to charities or like what you're doing. I don't know if you just, you know, will hand a 50 to somebody on the street. I don't know. Like, it's interesting because the people who are turned off by this, it's like they feel like you are making yourself a target sometimes. Or if this is just even in your personal life, like, do you overly give? But I want to say this has to do with dollars. Okay, it's not like your time, it's more like money. Very generous. What is this they're showing me? Do you volunteer your time too? I don't know why I'm getting this even with the last one I just picked up. It's like very giving energy. But I feel like a lot of people have something to say about this a lot of the times. Like, why? Why are you doing this? You know, I think a lot of people can look up to you for this, but others are just like always trying to talk you out of it. Interesting. Okay, window is closing. I don't have anything more to say. So this is where I'll end the reading. Let me know if anything resonated with you. I wish you all the best as always. You take care. It's that time again. Win a 10-minute free candle or tarot reading with me. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. 3 random comments will be selected on Sunday, March 2nd at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time and be posted within the pinned comment. So please check back at that time to see if you're a winner. Good luck. Okay, so if you were guided towards the last group, the devil, before we begin your reading, a couple things to note. I have just uploaded an exclusive reading to my Patreon platform. That reading is going to be on your next major glow up, and it will cover career, finances, love, life, and self. If you'd like to access it, you can find it within the description box or the pinned comment, as well as if you want to book a personal, you can also find the link to my Etsy shop there as well. So the devil, I feel like we've got some very brave people, very brave souls who have chosen this group. I do feel like those who have chosen this group probably hesitated, but didn't really know what to do because they were so gravitated towards it. And you should always be doing that, okay? Even if you feel like, the imagery or, the wording on the card is, kind of scary, go with your gut. Now, I want you to be very open with this reading. I don't want you to be closed off. The Devil card is a very strong card, okay? It's not a joke. This is not going to be sunshine and roses, okay? It could be, but it also may not be. So just, bear with me. So with this card, now we are talking about, what turns heads versus what turns others off. When I say turn heads, I really mean what turns people on. But whatever I say, you will find that it will simultaneously work for both. Okay, so what I say, some people may really like it, this about you, while others may not. So let's start with the Devil. The Devil can be an obsessive card, okay? It can represent obsessiveness. Now, this can work 2 ways. People could find that you are very obsessive. You tend to have an obsessive personality. Some could think this is kind of funny. Some could think that this is cute, while others could just be, they could get really frustrated by it. I mean, this could be over people. You get, into relationships, you get obsessive, or you just can't stop talking about it, or, celebrities, like maybe you're a Swiftie. I don't know, okay? But this could also be that people feel obsessed with you, okay? Some people could really like that you've impacted them that way, while others could feel like they kind of sense this potential danger and they just don't want to go there. So I really wouldn't be surprised with this group if people have found you very alluring, very magnetic, and have purposely stayed away from you because of this, because they don't want to become addicted, or they know that they will. And it's just like, no, I'm not going there, okay? This card can also talk about powerlessness, okay? Maybe some of you, sometimes can get really easily down on yourself. You get very quick to that. Or maybe there's a lot of things you don't like about yourself. People could find that very humbling. Maybe there's a vulnerable side to you. Or others could find it oppressive, okay, to hear. It's kind of sad, that you feel these ways about yourself. Maybe also sometimes people could be turned off because you're not really embodying your full potential. Okay, so others do see, potential in you, but, you could take it definitely up a notch sometimes. Now, the 2 figures on the card are very loosely chained to each other. I feel like there's sometimes this feeling around you where even if you could like escape a situation, you tend to keep yourself there. And it could be because of your, you could be very kind-hearted. Let's just be real, okay? Or maybe sometimes it takes time to get out of things. It could be a career, a relationship. But I feel like sometimes People think you give too much to things, people, situations, when you should really be getting out of Dodge. You should be getting out of there, you know, like know your worth type of thing, okay? You could also, with this card, have a very addictive type of personality. Maybe there's addictions. While some people might, again, find this interesting or, you know, cute, you could be like, maybe even they joke about it, like, oh, this person's obsessed with, I don't know, Michael B. Jordan. I don't know. It could be for others quite confusing. You could have an addictive personality, like you get into these things, and it's just, people don't understand it, okay? This card is also interesting too, because you could be actually very interesting at times. Do you play devil's advocate? I feel like I'm sensing that. Like, I feel like some people really love this bravado about you, this way about you, but like the way you could test waters with people or situations. But I feel like for others, they really don't like that. And it could be the people that you're putting on the spot, but I understand that. I have known a couple people who do that. It is quite off-putting. But you could also kind of like, I feel like in the same breath, admire it, you know, because they're just kind of thinking what everybody else is thinking, but won't say, right? So there's a bravado about you. I think some people really like it, but I think the ones that you definitely put on the spot probably don't. I really do get with this card that, you know, I don't think you're afraid to test people, you know, authority either, okay? You probably were never like that as well too. You know, that kid in school who just, you know, followed rules. This is a rule breaker with this pile, okay? You're not afraid. If it doesn't make sense, you will say something. Now, this card is represented by Capricorn. It can talk about, you know, ambition, especially for materialism, you know, material things. While your drive could be very motivating to watch, you know, it's very motivating. It's very, you know, it definitely has the wow factor. I feel like some people may sometimes be a little taken aback by it. You could have a lot of material things. Like I'm kind of actually seeing somebody who, like, when they walk in, they look expensive. You look expensive, and I don't care what you're wearing. It's not even about like the Chanel bag. It's just you look like you look like you smell like money. You look like money. But some people could take that as like maybe you are a snob. You are just about that. Maybe you just even want only people in your circle who are like that. I actually just heard someone who's watching and saying, yeah, damn right. Okay, damn right. I want my circle to be influential, you know, and, you know, aspiring to be type crowd. Okay. I think with this card as well too, people can get really drawn in by you. You could definitely turn heads, because with this card, it does talk about like a very like piercing like look. Like it's like you have a look that it could even be like, I don't know how to explain it, like bold. You know, you may have striking features. You may have like a look to you that could be very out there, very in your face, but just even unique as well too. And while I feel like this turns heads, this may also sometimes scare people off, because I think with this group, we could have a lot of really attractive, confident people. But maybe we've got even some people who are like real above average. Okay. So like, you know, pretty girl syndrome, you know, that's a thing, guys. Okay. And I don't know what it is for men. Is it like pretty guy syndrome? I don't know what this is, but I'm sensing that. It's like your look, it kind of has worked against you sometimes. And it could be the way you dress yourself up. I don't know. But I feel like people lose control when they're around you. They lose all sense of control. Your energy, your presence is really strong. And I feel like those that hide behind a false mask, it's very hard for them to be able to wear it around you, because it's like, it's not going to, you're going to see right through that. And I feel like at the same time, even though people may like that feelings, at times it's too much. It's too much. And people don't want to lose control of themselves. People don't like that feeling. So, you know, this is very like, listen, I'm going to say this with this group. A lot of people want to have sex with you. They do. A lot of people do, but they get this fear about getting hooked. They get scared about that. It's like that dangerous pond. I want to like dip my toe in, but I feel like if I dip my toe in, I might not be able to pull it back out. Like trapped in the web type thing. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to move on now. Let's get to the remote viewing. Okay, so let's get into the remote viewing. Please bear with me. I am going to try to fill the whole page. Remember, this is not a private reading, so you do need to be patient. Don't click off if it's not, you know, resonating with you even halfway through. Something could pop up for you at the end, so make sure you are listening to the reading in its entirety. So let's go forth here. Okay, I have not gotten this for any other pile. I feel like, are you a Scorpio? I don't know what this is. If it's not that you're a Scorpio, it's your zodiac sign. Like, I feel like some people are really, you know, lured in or really like your sign, but there's a big thing with you, and like you say what your sign is and people are like, oh, no. I'm dodging you. Weird. Something with the zodiac, okay? Maybe this is even your love for the zodiac. I'm just not understanding what I'm seeing here. Are you a little obsessed with astrology? Or is this something interesting about your sign? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of black clothing for some of you. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if this group gets asked if they're constantly going to a funeral, okay? Or like, do you own anything else besides black? I feel like while some people can really appreciate if this is your personality, I feel like others would just wish you would incorporate, you know, more, okay? More into the wardrobe. I'm hearing for some of you an inability to commit. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Not every one of these things that come through are going to be what, you know, like they're not going to fall for both. I feel like with the tarot aspect that worked, but not with these. Some may come through that just they don't like it. These are things they don't like about you. But I'm getting that, an inability to commit. Like, I don't know. Are you a little flaky sometimes? I don't know what this is. Okay. I'll leave it there. So I'm picking up something I feel like I picked up in another group. I just can't remember which one it was. I'm getting, again, tattoos, piercings, or maybe like bright hair colors, like pink, blue. Now with this one, I think some people dig it, but I think there are definitely others who don't understand it. And this could be even that you're constantly doing it, or it's like constantly changing, and it's just like, I don't know. Some people can just not understand why the frequent changes, okay? Maybe you're constantly dyeing your hair, maybe there's constantly a different hairstyle. Maybe this is also, again, like a tattoo addiction, I don't know, or a piercing, I'm not sure. But that is something that's coming through. Ooh, okay, I got reputation. I think I cannot overly interpret that because it's obviously a general reading, but some people are very taken in by this reputation, while others may dismiss you, okay? Now, I'm not saying that the reputation about you or what's being spread about you is necessarily accurate, but I do feel like you're talked about a lot, okay? Even before people meet you. So some people could get very excited, like, ooh, who's this interesting person? Like, I can't wait to meet them. While others could be like, what? When they hear it, and they're just like, when I meet them or when I get to know them, or not even that I'm going to get to know them. Maybe I'm going to swear them off. Okay, I'm just not going to even, partake. So there's something about the reputation. Now this one's interesting. I'm getting something around the love life, but I'm also getting something about a love affair. Okay, so I don't know if your love life, and I don't know what that's going to look like. Okay, I'm not necessarily saying it's a mess. I'm not necessarily saying that it's good. I'm just saying your love life sometimes can be a source of why people maybe get frustrated with you, or maybe why they like you. Because sometimes, who you're with can definitely do that. It can kind of bring you up in status. But I do think that for some of you watching, I don't know if you're having an affair or a love affair or something maybe even a bit taboo or inappropriate. I don't know what this is. And inappropriate, I'm using that word loosely because I don't know who that will be inappropriate to. It's not, don't come for me. I'm just the messenger. But it could be something about that. So I don't know if you tend to talk to people or people know about this, but your love life. Okay, for some of you, the makeup. Okay. Some of you could be heavy eye makeup, like around the eye. Now this is interesting. I actually just saw something like this the other day. So I was actually at the grocery store and there was a person working there at the grocery store. Now she looked like she was in full glam. I actually went up to her and I was like, you look great. Like, have you ever considered maybe even doing this? Or maybe even starting a YouTube channel? I like to do that with people, encourage them. But I did overhear someone who heard me talking to her and they were like, yeah, it's a lot of makeup to work at the grocery store. And they were making fun of her. Okay. So I don't know with this one who we're talking about. I feel like some people really like your makeup, but others can find it very heavy and sometimes don't understand why the need for all of that. Okay. Oh, okay, your social media. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if this is your account or if you're online. I feel like either people are very gravitated towards it. This is very cool, very interesting. But I feel like others could, and I'm going to use the word judge you for it. Okay, so if that really makes sense to you, you don't need to let people know about your social media. You just don't. Now, if there's no other way that, they're going to find a way to know, then, okay. But, don't go out of your way, if that makes sense, to give people your stuff. Because people just sometimes cannot understand what, they can't perceive or what they don't understand, okay? Or see clearly to something that they don't understand. So I don't know what that means, but your social media. And maybe it's that you are, not doing necessarily anything, wrong. Maybe you have a very, amazing social media, but for others, it could be intimidating. Maybe some people are judging, but then also maybe some people could really like it. Like it could really, I don't know. They could be very amazed by it. I'm also going to say social media presence because I don't know if you're on YouTube. I don't know what that is. Okay. Now this is interesting. I'm getting something around a fake smile. And this is interesting because I feel like you do it deliberately. It's like like, I don't know what this is. I just feel like some people get the joke while others hate this. Like it irks them to the core. There's something about a fake laugh or a fake smile, like, whatever, something like that. If you get that, or if you understand that, you'll understand it. Do you study people? Is it obvious that you study people? I think you read people. They can feel it energetically. Some people enjoy the attention, not gonna lie. Others, freaks them out, okay? Really freaks them out. And it goes back to what I said. I feel like this is linked to what I said within the tarot reading. Are you into the tarot or the occult or something? Someone here who's watching, I mean, obviously, oh my God, that's so stupid. Obviously, everybody who's here watching is into the tarot. I'm just saying, maybe you practice, don't know. Maybe people know about this. I don't know. For some, it could be really like, oh, wow, me too. But for others, it could be like, maybe it's like you get this after. It's like, stay away from that one. Okay. People feel like sometimes you come across as the queen, okay? Or the king. I just don't know what this is. It's like, all hail the queen, all bow to the queen. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's the spotlight is on you. Maybe this is just like you don't give a F about anything. But some of you can tend to have this energy around you like, you know, the queen has just showed up. I'm not really sensing about people who like this. I'm getting more people who don't like this. Feels a little bit snobby. Now, if that doesn't resonate with you, leave it. I just got the word cryptic. You can be very cryptic. I don't know if it's in your actions. I don't know if it's in your communication. It's like, I feel like I'm constantly wondering, what did you mean by that? Like, why did you do that? What did you mean by that? Like, and I think for some people, at first it can reel them in, but I feel like they can grow easily sick of and tired of that. So I don't know if this is an aloofness. I don't know what this is. You could be a bit of like a Houdini, like a magician. You could switch it up. You could disappear, like, you know, and it's like, leave somebody just like wondering what the heck happened. But it could also be within your communication. And I think, again, at first it's very attractive. It can come across as appealing, but I think people can also get very turned off by this eventually. Okay. Some of you are high achievers. You're constantly leveling up. And I feel like for some of you, that leveling up even kind of shows. It could be like a glow up, maybe even financially. And, you know, you buy yourself things. I do feel like I've got like a person here who understands hustle, the word hustle and the word grind, okay? Like you're about your dollar, okay? You're about your paper. And I think some people can really appreciate the fact that like you're not lazy in any sense. And if you want something, you're gonna go get it. But I feel like for others, it's sometimes hard to keep up. It's like, I'm not saying that you say things to people, but people feel like they can't sit next to you, okay? Okay, guys. Wow, there's nothing I can do here. I was hoping to go for the whole page, but, you know, when Spirit closed the window, They closed the window. So I'm done. This is what I picked up for you. Let me know if that resonated. I wish you all the best. Take care.